The focus and morale of the players is still intact.
We agree that, guys, what we promise, we make sure you get. They said, don't promise us things that you don't give. That's what we agreed. And from day one, whatever we promise them, they always get it. Today, they will get all their allowances. Today, before they leave tomorrow.
Kenya last qualified for AFCON in 2004 after topping Group A that included Togo, Mauritania and Cape Verde. And their quest this time out is in Group F against Ghana, Ethiopia, and the Saturday's first test against Sierra Leone. For a number of months, Harambee Stars has given its fans something to smile about. But the big test is this Saturday when the Chargers go out against Sierra Leone trying to qualify for the next AFCON. But the question begs, how easy will it be for Stars under Stanley Okumbi's tactician? Moses Wahesi, KTN Sports. Yes, when you talk about the tactician, that is Stanley Okumbi, he has been impressive and he's set a record that I know a lot of Kenyan coaches will want to actually set. But now, let's talk about this team. And when we talk about the same group, people are saying this is the biggest now test for Stanley Okumbi because he has won different matches. But when we talk about those matches, they've just been friendlies.
Yeah, they've been friendly matches.
Big test begins for him.
They have been friendly matches, and Kenyans say, okay, they are smaller games as far as, because there's no importance in winning friendly matches. But one thing we should look positively about is the thing that we've had friendly matches for the first time in so many years. We didn't have friendly matches, and it's something that we need to have so that we gauge ourselves as far as football is concerned. If we compare ourselves with other big boys. Look, we've defeated the likes of Congo here at home in the AFCON qualifiers, 2017 AFCON qualifiers. We defeated the likes of DR Congo in a friendly match, and also we've had good results against Uganda, Tanzania and Malawi, although they are lesser teams if you compare them with other teams like Cameroon. But it's something good, and I think the morale is high in the squad. It's an important match. It's going to be tricky because Sierra Leone almost qualified for the 2017 AFCON. They finished second in their group, which I think Ivory Coast led that group, and they went to the AFCON as defending champions. So it's going to be tricky against Sierra Leone, but I think we have a chance. We are not going to top that group, considering that Ghana are in that group, but we have a chance.
We are not going to.
We are not going to top that group. I'm sure about that. But if we get good results against the likes of Sierra Leone and also Ethiopia, we have a chance of getting to Cameroon as one of the three best second runners-up teams.
Yes, we have a chance to go and actually maybe even top the group, because when we talk about football, anything is very, very possible. We expect Leicester City will go and win EPL in the other season.
That's
so
different.
Anything can happen. In matters to do with football, anything can happen. Now, let's just now talk about these different groups, because I know we're having different groups. Yes, we're talking about Kenya, and Kenya has been placed in Group F, but from Group A, we have different teams that will be trying to make a huge statement, and we're going to be getting those pictures. Group A, we have the likes of Senegal, Equatorial Guinea, Sudan. At the same time, we have Madagascar. And when you talk about Sudan and Madagascar, yesterday, Sudan got a beating against Madagascar. We're going to be seeing that in some few minutes. But what's your general take? Is it an easy group for maybe Senegal in Group A?
Yeah, because I think one of the top teams in Africa so far in the last 3 seasons. They have some of the best players in Africa, the likes of Sadio Mane. I think he's been outstanding at Liverpool and also in Africa. So I think Senegal, with the type of players that they have and the strength of their squad, they're going to top that group. Madagascar had an upper hand, winning their first match. It's very important to win your first group match because it gives you the morale going forward, and you need to win all your home matches so as maybe to get a chance of qualifying to the AFCON 2019.
Now let's talk about Group B. And when you talk about Group B, we will know Cameroon is in Group B, but that is by the virtue they already qualified because they are the host nation. But at the same time, Morocco is there, Malawi is there, Comoros, which is the same, Mauritius is also there. And when you talk about Morocco, the 1976 champions. So also for them, against Cameroon, are we having something maybe for people to look out?
Yes, I think Cameroon are just there maybe to make numbers because they've already qualified as the host nation to AFCON 2019. The team to look out for is Morocco. Remember, they led their group to AFCON 2017 qualifiers. One of the first teams, I think it was the first team to qualify for AFCON 2017 after Gabon, who are the host. So they have a good team. They made it to the quarterfinals in 2017. So I think they're going to qualify alongside Cameroon to 2019 AFCON.
Talk about Group C, and in Group C we have the likes of Mali, Gabon, Burundi, Djibouti, South Sudan. So also an enticing group, and people will say maybe in Group C, Mali, do you think that Mali will have an easy run-up in that group?
It's not going to be easy. South Sudan, you might say they are going to be the whipping boys because they are the new boys in as far as football in Africa is concerned. Burundi, Gabon, and Mali. I think Mali and Gabon have a chance of making it to maybe Mali will top the group and then Gabon finishing second. So Mali have a chance of making it to AFCON 2019.
Now, when we talk about Group D, we have people will argue and say they are maybe the heavyweights in African football. That is Algeria. At the same time, you have Togo, Benin, and Gambia. Talk about Togo, because we know Togo have been struggling. We saw what it happened against Togo, against Uganda, our neighbors, when they were playing. Algeria, at the same time, people are saying it's like Algeria is fading.
Yeah, they are fading, and it is unfortunate for them because after the 2010 World Cup, after the 2014 World Cup, that is, they had a wonderful tournament, a wonderful campaign, and people thought now this is a team that maybe will compete for top honors with the likes of maybe the top teams in Europe and also in South America. So they have a good squad, some of the players who are doing well in club football, and we thought maybe in 2017 Africa Cup of Nations and also in 2015 they are going to do better, but we didn't see that happening, and I think they need experience because we have young players, players who most of them were born in France and they started playing their football in European countries. So I think they need to gel. They need that experience maybe to do well if you compare them with the likes of Ghana and also Ivory Coast in Africa.
The last time they tried, that is Nigeria, they never made it to AFCON. And for them, it was a sad state of affair. This time round, today specifically, they have a match against South Africa, and they are paired actually in the same group. So do you think that in Group E, that has Nigeria, South Africa, Libya, and Seychelles, that again, it will be South Africa going at the expense of Nigeria?
That will depend with the first match today at around 6:30. We're waiting to see what will happen. South Africa against Nigeria. Remember, Nigeria won the title in 2013, defeating Burkina Faso in the finals. After that, they've missed out in the last two tournaments in 2015 and also 2017. So they need to get back there because I think the Africa Cup of Nations is not going to be the Africa Cup of Nations without Nigeria because they are one of the big boys as far as football is concerned in Africa. So they need to win their first match at home against South Africa, and then maybe they'll have a chance of making it to AFCON.
Now, when you talk about Group G, it features a clash between Congo and also Democratic Republic of Congo. And remember, those both sides have known how sweet it is to win AFCON. So they will be featuring in Group G. Group H, we have Ivory Coast, Guinea, Central African Republic. At the same time, we have Rwanda. Group F, I know we were talking about Group F earlier, even before we started this discussion, where Kenya lies. But for Group F, we have the likes of Ghana, Ethiopia, Sierra Leone at the same time on local boys, Kenya. When we talk about Group H, also for them, we have the likes of Ivory Coast. There are some people will argue heavyweights in matters to do with the continent football. At the same time, we have Central African Republic. And again, we have Rwanda. Group I, we have Burkina Faso, Angola, Botswana, and Mauritania. I don't know what's your take. Burkina Faso, they have been impressive for quite a number of times, but for them, their football is growing. And in that group, against Angola, maybe it's where we're going to be having a cracker tie.
It has been sad for Burkina Faso because they have some of the best players, the like of Jonathan Pretoipa, and who was one of the best players in 2013 when they went to the finals, and they had a good tournament in that year. But looking at how they've performed in 2017, it didn't go well for them. But I think they have a good squad, good players, and they have that experience. So Burkina Faso, I think they're going to top that group. It's still early, but they have they are able. They have the capability.
When we talk about Group J, we have Tunisia, Egypt, Niger, and Swaziland. And remember, Tunisia, yes, they play beautiful football, just the same as the Algerians. In Group K, we have Zambia, Mozambique, Guinea-Bissau, and Namibia. And when we talk about Mozambique, yes, they know how to win matches. Guinea-Bissau at the same time, they also know how to win matches. Group L, we have Cape Verde, our neighbors, Uganda, Tanzania, and also Lesotho. Tanzania and Uganda in the same group. The East African will clash in the final group of this time.
Yeah, who is going to be the king of East Africa, if you might say? Is it going to be Kenya? I think Kenya have a chance in Group F. But I think the last group, Uganda and Tanzania, you'll pick Uganda. Maybe they have the edge against Tanzania if you compare them with Tanzania, because they've shown that they qualified to the 2017 AFCON. And although they didn't do well in that tournament, but it showed that maybe they are able maybe to do well in such tournaments.
Yes, maybe they have what it takes to do well in such tournaments. So I don't know. We're supposed to be crossing over to talk with Francis Mtalaki. I don't know if he's ready now. We're going to be continuing with the matters to do with AFCON. I'm told that Francis Mtalaki is ready. And when we talk about Francis Mtalaki, is in Mombasa, where he's been following up what has been happening in matters to do with under-16 basketball. We have a tournament that is currently on. Today is the final day. Francis Mtalaki, I know it has been an enticing week, different children there just trying to be as impressive as they can. Probably, what can you tell us from the coastal city?
Well, good afternoon, Moses Wahisi and Abula Ahmed back in our studios. And we can indeed confirm that the tournament has just ended a few minutes ago. And the final match was between Kakamega boys versus Passing boys here, which Kakamega boys have managed to be the winners in the boys category through the penalty shootout. And now we want to involve the coach for the Kakamega boys. Sir, welcome to KTN News, and tell us, how does it feel to win this tournament?
It feels good. We are very elated. Indeed, it has been a difficult journey, but finally God has given us victory. And we want just to take this opportunity to thank all stakeholders, all the fans, and everybody who supported us for making us realize our dream. We have won the two big games, the under-19, but we have never won the under-16. Having boys like Joshua Utieno, who went to Hull City, and Sichenje Collins, who went to Barcelona Academy, we believe that we had what it takes to win this championship.
And maybe lastly, I would want to involve you. Kakamega boys has been doing very good in terms of sports and football for that matter. What is the secret?
Kakamega High School has had a series of coaches. The late coach Chris Makoha, who trained in Brazil, I think introduced soccer to that school, and it has been a tradition. In fact, the whole community believes in soccer more than even academic work. So the tradition has gone on. After he died, the legacy has lived on. The guys who have come over and taken over, we have made sure that the tradition lives, so that you can see the kind of football being played here.
Quite a good football, and thank you so much for your time. And possibly, Moses Wahisi, as you can see behind here, these are some of the participants who are here trying to celebrate a bit. And now I would want to involve one of the organizers, who is Lucy Odor. Maybe you can come in front of you here as one of the organizers coming from the Coca-Cola company. Maybe what is the motivation towards this?
No, as a Coca-Cola company, we believe in grassroots football, okay? So for us, football, and especially grassroots, we see it as a future development for soccer in the country. We see it as an extracurricular activity that can actually help in building careers of these young kids. So this is why, as a company, we're very focused in trying to assist and making it as great as possible.
But we've been here for the last few days, and we've seen some immense talent coming from the young boys. But many are asking, from here, what next?
No, I mean, first of all, we are continuously working with the Ministry of Education, because this is where our sponsorship comes from, to see how we can develop this football talent much, much better. But then what we are trying to do is, as Coca-Cola, which is the brand asset that we support this, we have this from our international level. So what we are seeing is how we can pick the best top 8 students to take them to our annual international football camp, where they get more exposure. But in terms of, this is in the short term, but in long term, we hope that we can have much more schools involved, more kids being trained at a much earlier, from the sub-zonal till the national football level, and just make sure that they're growing and making this as great as it can.
Thank you so much for your time. And Moses, maybe if I can just wind up by giving you some of the results which I've been able to receive here. In the third playoff soccer for the soccer girls, it was between Chebukaka and Nyakash. And Nyakash emerged as the winners. And in the boys category, it was between Kisumu boys and Ramisi, where Ramisi emerged as the winners in the third playoff. And when it comes to handball for the girls, New Jogoo Road from Nairobi County versus Chepti. Chepti became the winners for the third playoff. And the boys category, it was between Kanyawanga and Barani, where Kanyawanga emerged as the winners. They are in the third playoff. And in the netball, the Chepti, it was between Chepti and Mukuyu girls, where Mukuyu girls emerged as the winners. And lastly, if we come to the finals, which have just ended here, in the netball category, we had between Obambo and Kaya Tiwi from the girls category, where Obamba emerged as the winners. And Moi girls, in terms of the handball category, did not manage between the Sega girls, so that means Sega girls are the winners in the category of netball. And in soccer for the boys, it was between Wieta and Olympic girls, where Olympic girls emerged as the winners for the soccer for the girls. And as I had told you earlier, in the boys category, we had Kakamega boys and Pesang, and Kakamega boys are the winners through a penalty shootout, which the result is 4-3. And lastly, in the handball for the boys, Mukuyu boys were the winners with 26 against Dr. Ribeiro with 18. That is what is happening here, and some kind of jubilation in the other side of this the pitch here at Shanzu Teachers College, and the students are really enjoying here in some of the football and other curriculum activities here. But we can indeed confirm that the session is over here and the tournament is over. So I'll now want to hand you back to our studios in Nairobi for more sporting action. Or else you have any question, Wahisi?
Francis Mtalaki, I much appreciate what has been happening there. Yes, that is Coca-Cola. We had the finals today, and I know we were talking earlier, actually, said Mtalaki was doing the under-16 matters to do with basketball, but no, it is matters to do with football, because we remember at the same time Mombasa was hosting the FIBA Basketball Championship. Thank you very much, Mtalaki, for that update. Coca-Cola, what has been happening. We have new champions who have been crowned, matters to do with secondary action. Much thanks on that. So we were talking about matters to do with football.